Vengeance Day, V for Vengeance Day. And happy Valentine's Day to one and all the ladies out there. Hope it was fruitful and eventful. But for now, we're talking about the wrestling, where NXT, and this was a very packed like sports weekend because it's NBA All-Star weekend, it's Valentine's weekend, and it's also NXT, NXT week. So there's definitely a lot for me to do, a lot to cover. Plus, it snowed over the weekend here in New York, and now that the snow stopped, it's raining, so there's a lot going on. But anyway, but we're gonna talk about some wrestling here. And in this particular wrestling event, we had 6 matches. And was it was it a predictable Vengeance Day? Yes. There was probably only one surprise on the entire show, but for the most part, it was a very entertaining show, just like NXT usually is. So we're going to run it down, and as I said before we get started, hit that notification bell, like and or subscribe, and let's check out NXT Vengeance Day. So the first match at NXT Vengeance Day was the Women's North American Championship. It was Fallon Henley versus Stephanie Valkyria. And if I'm being perfectly honest, this was like the most predictable thing. This is probably like one of the top like most predictable things on the entire show because like we knew Fallon's reign was coming to an end. Like this isn't a secret. Like we knew it was over for her. And if I'm being honest, I would have preferred they just kept the belt on Kalani and then tonight have Kalani lose the belt to Stephanie Valkyria because nothing against Fallon Henley, but her title reign was trash. Like it was very uneventful. She didn't really do anything. She didn't really fight anybody. They had to actually turn like women who should be natural heels. They had to like kind of like turn them face just to give like Fallon Henley something to do. And Stephanie like beat her ass. She basically beat up 3 girls in order to win the belt. She hit her finisher. She pinned the girl 1, 2, 3, and now Stephanie Valkyria is the new NXT North American Women's Champion. And again, I felt like she would have got a better match out of Kalani Jordan, who was at ringside, because she's on that teeter line of like turning heel face. So I don't know what's going on with that, but Stephanie then said in a later interview, she said that although she's the North American Women's Champion, she's not done yet, and and obviously she's talking about the Women's Championship. But I don't know where Fatal Influence goes from here. I don't know if I don't think they should get the call up because the other girl like Jasmine Nix, like she's not even really like ready yet. But I don't know, like I don't know what the 3 of them do now. So it was. And it was very weird because JC Jane, she's the one that put the group together, and she's not even the leader of her own faction. And she didn't even get a championship. But we'll see who Stephanie's next challenger is. Now that she's the women's champion. And let's move on to the next match. The next match was for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and I didn't care. Like, come on, it's Josh Briggs and some random Asian dude from Japan. Like, we don't even know. Like, we barely know anything about this guy, and I'm gonna say like Axiom retained, for Fraxium they retain, no surprise. But this is what I don't understand. So you had Brooks Jensen, Josh Briggs, and Fallon Henley. They were in a faction together. They were the good old country boys and girl. Like they were the Southern Hicks, and like they actually had a good thing going. The 3 of them broke up and then said that they got to go their own way. They got to see what singles stuff has to offer. And the 3 of them break up to pursue individual careers, and all 3 of them are now currently in factions with other people. Like Fallon's with 2 other girls, Brooke, like Jensen's teaming up with this Japanese guy, and the other one, Josh, or I get them mixed up, but the other one, he's with Sean Spears and his group. So yeah, basically left a group to join a group. I don't understand the point of that. I mean, well, it worked for Fallon because she actually became a singles champion, but she could have won the North American Women's Championship while she was still with the other 2. Like Josh Briggs needs to be by himself. Like he needs to change bring a tire. He needs to be like nobody cares about him with this Asian dude. But Axiom wins, and I mean, I thought OTM was going to be the ones to finally dethrone. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for the Hardy Boys to dethrone them at Stand and Deliver. I don't know. But Fraxium wins, and we're moving on. They're still champions. So now this next match was actually the shock of the night. It was Eddie Thorne versus Trick Willie in a strap match. And to my surprise, it was the 3rd match. So I'm like, hey, I got Trick Williams going on 3rd. But if we're trying to build new stars, if we're trying to put new people on, if we're trying to build this NXT division and make it like, one of the top 3 in all the land of professional sports entertainment, then yes, you got to build new stars, and people that we like are going to have to lose to to unknown people, because that's how unknown people become known people, by beating known people. So with that being said, I was still surprised. And although he did cheat, because there was a moment where he took the strap, like the strap was between Trick Williams' leg, and he lifted the strap and hit him in the nuts. So because he took the nut shot, Trick was down for the count, and then Eddie Thorne hit his finisher, and then he got the 1-2-3. Me, just like the rest of the ones, I was surprised y'all let Trick Williams lose. But Trick isn't gonna be hurt by that loss because he's still Trick Williams, and especially because Thorne cheated. So because Thorne cheated, Trick Williams does have an out. But again, I am surprised that they did beat Trick Williams, but also at the same time, congrats on them giving an opportunity to someone new. I'm glad to see. So hopefully he can build on this and actually become a major player, because a lot of these people in NXT currently, they're going to get called up soon. And when you call up all the people that we know, you just can't have a bunch of people we don't know. And now we have to figure out who these people are. So let's build these people now. So like I said, kudos to Thorne for, getting a win over Trick Willie, but we'll see if that turns into a one-on-one match with Obafemi so Obafemi can kill him. And we're moving on to the next one. And I feel like Trick should be called up soon because he didn't appear in the Royal Rumble, which I thought was a missed opportunity. But at this point, he's already a 2-time NXT champion. You have after Stand and Deliver, Roxanne Perez and Trick Williams, that has to be it for them. They can't stay in NXT past that point. Next match, another surpriser. It was Ethan Page versus that bouncy boy Javon Evans, and they beat Javon. See, the thing about the Evans Page feud that I didn't like. Okay, he punched him in the face. He broke his jaw with the blood and everything. It was very disgusting. But Javon was still on TV damn near every week. And because he was on TV, there was so much of them not doing anything that by the time they finally got to the point where they announced the match, part of me didn't care because I was just like, I've seen both of you on TV every single week and nothing has happened. I would have preferred we just kept Javon out for don't have him on TV, just keep him out, and then let his return be a surprise for everybody to be like, oh, we haven't seen Javon in so long, blah, blah, blah. But it's I just saw him last week, begging Ava for a match. So, and then he talked all that shit, and with the whole thing, oh, I'm going to sign a waiver, and I'm going to beat his ass. But then he lost. He actually lost. So, and he's young, what I'm saying? The boy's 22 years old. Ethan Page shouldn't even be on NXT anymore. He's another one. He's another, after Stand and Deliver, there's a list of people who after Stand and Deliver should no longer be on this show, and he's one of them. So, but I guess, if that is the case, you have to make him look strong going in. And again, Javon's 22 years old, so he's going to bounce back from this. But I was surprised he lost. So you would think Evans will get his revenge at some point. So maybe this feud isn't over, but we shall see what happens on NXT Tuesday. Then we had the matchup for the NXT Heavyweight Championship, which said, one, the women were going to be the main event, most likely because this was a Valentine's Day event, so we put the women on last. Two, the women did have bigger names for their championship match than the men's match did. No offense to anybody in the match. And three, we all knew Obafemi was not going to lose. And not lose, he did not, because it was the Rula versus Austin Theory and Grayson Squalor, and they squandered their opportunity. The two of them were beefing back and forth. They were working together at one point. But then when we got to that awkward moment of one of them going for the pin, and then when Theory went for the pin, Grayson Waller pulled the ref out the ring. That's when the dissension between the two of them started. Grayson went for that rolling cutter, and Femi moved out the way, and he gave the cutter to Austin Theory. So maybe we finally reached the point where we're ready to break these two up. And it said more on, well, they're on Raw now, so more on that on Raw when it unveils. But yeah, Obafemi won. He's still North American. He's still the NXT World Heavyweight Champion. And while he was celebrating, then the crowd went black, the lights went out, and then Retribution showed up, and they beat up Obafemi. They identified the four guys. Three of them I don't know. One of them is the black kid with the glasses, the nerd kid, the one that be reading all the time in the back. I have no idea why he's in this faction. I have no idea what this faction's about. And if I'm being perfectly honest, because there's no women in this faction, I already don't care. But this basically just reminds me of Retribution. I don't understand. I don't even understand. When you look at the four people who are there, I don't even understand the motivation of why the four of them are together. What has happened to the four of them that made them decide they were going to put on a mask and run roughshod all over NXT? I don't get it. But I guess it's not for me to get yet because they haven't even technically been revealed yet. So we'll see. But get some women in the group if we gonna do this, please. Yeah, but I said, but now I would assume now Obafemi would fight Eddie Thorne 1-on-1 and kill him. But then after that, he'll probably fight Trick Williams at Stand and Deliver. He'll beat Trick Williams, and then Trick Williams will get the call up. But yeah, I mean, this wasn't a shock. So, the ruler is still your NXT champion. Santino Marella was backstage talking to Ava and his daughter Ariana Grace because, as we all know, Santino Marella, he is the general manager in charge of operations at TNA Wrestling. So he's here now, and both him and Ava, they're going to discuss, some NXT and TNA business. And I hope this either leads to a Worlds Collide pay-per-view or getting some TNA talent on the Stand and Deliver card. And I say this again, I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it. Why has Moose not been on this show yet? If you're trying to do a crossover situation and you're trying to get star power, you're trying to bring eyes to TNA, you're trying to bring in new people for the NXT roster to fight, and you're trying to build this partnership, why the F is Moose not been on? How has he not been on? Like, if we don't get Moose, because again, I love Trick Williams, but he needs to get called up now. He needs to get off NXT. If we don't get Obafemi versus Moose at Stand and Deliver, there is something wrong. There's something wrong. But anyway, so let's move on to the final match of the night, which was the NXT Women's Championship match. Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, the beautiful Madness, well, I can't remember her name right now, and Bailey, good old Bailey. Julia with a G. The girl just won a championship. She just became the champion. You knew she was not going to lose the belt. This is like her first title defense, technically. She's not going to lose the belt. Like, girl just won the damn thing. So, and it was a good match. Like, there were moments where Roxanne and Cora, went against each other, teamed up together and everything. Bailey showed, why she's still Bailey. But in the end, Julia pinned Roxanne Perez to win the Fatal 4-Way. And I'm happy that she pinned Roxanne Perez, of all people, because Roxanne Perez needs to get off the show now. It was very poetic for Roxanne to take the pin because that was her swan song. It's over for her. She's officially she's supposed to fight Raquel Rodriguez Hernandez de la Vega Cruz. She's supposed to fight her on Raw to get a spot in the Elimination Chamber. And I'm pretty sure now that Bianca and Naomi are going for Liv and Raquel, I'm pretty sure Raquel is going to lose that match and Roxanne is going to end up in the chamber. If Roxanne is going into the Elimination Chamber, I swear to God, this better have been her last match on NXT. She doesn't need to be there anymore. Cora Jade, I'll give her a little bit longer because, for the love of God, Cora Jade hasn't even won single championship gold in NXT, and she's still going after the TNA women's heavyweight champion. So let's leave Cora there for a little bit longer. Obviously, Julia is the champ, but yeah, Roxanne need to go. Roxanne, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, they need to go. Where's Jakara Jackson? Where's Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson need to go too, because if they're only focused on going after tag team gold, there is no tag team gold for women on NXT. So just go to the main roster. SmackDown needs more people anyway, because with all the cuts, with all the firings, a lot of the firings that happened on SmackDown. And especially with the women's division. So the women's division's been gutted. We need more women to fill those spots. So that's Roxanne's already on Raw, but put the Meta Girls on SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? Hell, bring in Kalani Jordan. Put Kalani Jordan on SmackDown. Beef up SmackDown. Why are we forgetting about SmackDown? Still a thing. And I understand Raw is the Netflix thing, but just show SmackDown some love. Give Chelsea Green some people to fight. Give Charlotte's about to become the WWE Women's Champion, so ain't nobody gonna get that belt for no time soon. So yeah, so Chelsea Green needs people to fight. So let's bring more people on the show for Chelsea Green. And but that was it. Julia reigns supreme. She's still your NXT Women's Champion. And then after that, that's when Stephanie Valkyria showed up. She got in the ring. She was staring down Julia because she was like, although I'm North American Women's Champion, I still want to be NXT Women's Champion. And then Jordan Grace's theme music hit, and Jordan Grace came out. So now we got Stephanie, we got Julia, we got Jordan Grace. They're all in the ring, and they're all just yeah, we're coming for each other. That other girl with the red hair that walked from Australia to NXT, we're dropping the ball. She's supposed to be this unstoppable monster, and y'all put her with Sol Ruka, and now she has personality, so we kind of ruined her already. But the four of them were supposed to be the outsiders coming in, but now it seems that we're just going to be focused on the three that were in the ring. And as soon as I saw that, when I saw Jordan Grace, when I saw Stephanie, and I saw Julia all in the ring together, the first thing that popped in my mind was, we're shitting on the homegrown talent. Where's Jada Parker? Where's Lash Legend? Where's Jakara Jackson? Where's Kalani Jordan? we're basically just pushing the homegrown. Where's Lola Vice? What happened to Lola Vice? Like, so we're just pushing all the homegrown talent to the side, and we're just letting these indie darlings, you know what I'm saying, come in and just take over. It says a bad look because, like, you're feeding your homegrown talent to these outsiders. I'd like to see a nice blended mix. I don't want to see the outsiders come in and take over, because then we forget about we like the homegrown talent more. So, but we'll see what Shawn Michaels has under his sleeve. I mean, nobody's blonde, so you know, so it's anybody's game who's going to get pushed to the moon. That was how NXT I was about to say Takeover. That was how NXT Vengeance Day ended, with the women, with Julia standing tall with those outside girls. That was it, and thank you for tuning in. So overall, the show was an 8 for me. Like I said, although like 4 out of the 6 matches, the endings were very predictable, it was still enjoying wrestling. Like, I still like the wrestling. I still want to see where everything goes. And again, with WrestleMania coming and with people getting called up, I do want to see where all this goes. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I look forward to talking about it all with you. So in the world of wrestling, when March 1st comes, we're definitely going to go over that Elimination Chamber. Check out my other reviews, because I got Harley Quinn up on my channel. We started to do Cobra Kai again. Cobra Kai, the final 5 episodes of Cobra Kai are going to be up on my channel, and I'm going to get to Captain America eventually. I said there was so much. That was another thing that happened this weekend. Captain America came out, so we're going to get to Captain America eventually, so just give me some time, and we'll keep rolling on for all this action, this entertainment that we all love and enjoy. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. So until next time for the wrestling, for some more NXT, WWE, and everything else in between, take care, and we're out this